Hey there, Sharon Horne-Ellstrom here. Welcome to day 62 of our Be a Better You annual challenge. We're focusing on communication this month. Hopefully you can see that above my head. I cannot, but maybe you can. And today's topic is thoughts and beliefs, communication, thoughts and beliefs, and the impact they have on us, whether we focus on positive things or negative things. I did a little write-up, and then I'll share 5 ways that you can transform your thoughts to be in your favor instead of against you, working against you. And the things we've talked about before, there's things we'll talk about again throughout this year. But the first thing we want to do is we need to brainstorm a list or pay attention as we go about our day-to-day to what we are thinking. Actually, we have scientists and statisticians and people that study these things have different takes on how many thoughts we have a day, but it's in the tens of thousands, like 80,000 plus thoughts a day. And then there's the belief that like 80 to 90% of those 80,000 thoughts are negative. So if we're not consciously making an effort to put positive thoughts in our head or flip those negative thoughts around, we are at a disadvantage right from the get-go. So today, as you go about your day, our action item is to jot down thoughts that pop into your head. Thoughts about yourself, thoughts about the world, thoughts about what's possible for you, specifically with respect to communication, since we're focusing on the communication area and aspect of our life this month. So let me give you a couple of examples. And then what's the difference between thoughts and beliefs? Thoughts are a thought that just pops into our head. They happen all the time based on what's going on around us or what we're thinking about from past experiences or what we're thinking about what might happen in the future. And we have control over those things, even though we often choose not to exercise control over our thinking and our thoughts. But if we focus on positive things, we get positive results. If we focus on negative things, we get negative results. I didn't make this up. It's a universal law. It's the way the world and life and the universe works, whether we believe it or not. So if I say I'm a great communicator, that thought encourages confidence and trust in myself and engagement in conversations. If I believe I'm a good communicator and a good speaker and a good conversationalist, I'm more likely to be in my comfort zone when it comes to talking to other people or speaking up in meetings, things like that, because I know that I have something to offer. If, on the other hand, I think people will judge me if I speak up, guess what? I'm not going to speak up. I'm going to keep to myself, and I'm going to miss out on opportunities that I could have if I would speak up and share my opinion so people actually knew who I am and where I'm coming from on different topics and in different situations. So it's just 2 quick examples. Beliefs, on the other hand, are thoughts that we've either thought often and repeatedly and had lots of experiences with, or thoughts that are linked to a strong emotional event. So if I have a trauma in my life and something else is going on at that time and I have a thought about it, that gets linked up and automatically becomes a belief. Now, that's how a lot of our limiting beliefs are formed, right? Our fears, our doubts, our worries come from past mistakes we've made or past experiences that we've had that didn't really feel good or work out at the time. So we want to be careful of those. What's an example of a belief? Effective, I'll give you a positive one first. Effective communication requires honesty, transparency, truth, authenticity. If you believe that, it will encourage you to be open and sincere in your interactions. Guess what? People want to talk to and engage with and have relationships with and do business with people that are authentic, sincere, transparent, and they know what they're getting. They know what to expect from you. On the other hand, if you believe it's best to avoid conflict, that's going to limit you because you're going to stay in your comfort zone. You're not even going to see opportunities when they come your way for relationships, for job promotions, for any type of experience that you won't even see them because you don't believe that, or you're afraid that there might be some sort of conflict involved in that situation. So a belief is something we've thought a lot or we hold more dearly. They're a little more challenging to change. And that's what we want to look at today, is changing those limiting beliefs or transforming them into something positive, because that will give us the biggest bang for our buck when it comes to making changes in our life and the outcomes that we see, especially in the area of communication. So how do we go about doing that? Again, all we're going to do today for our action item is identify what we're thinking and what some of our beliefs are with respect to communication. If I think I'm a bad speaker or a bad public speaker, guess what? I'm going to avoid it like the plague. That's definitely going to limit my opportunities in life. That's why if there's one skill with respect to communication that you want to cultivate, besides listening, speaking, being able to speak confidently in front of other people is critical. Being able to share information is critical, and that will advance your life and career faster than any other area of communication that you can actually work on and improve yourself in. So what are 5 ways to transform our limiting beliefs and our limiting thoughts, our negative? So to me, a limiting belief and a negative thought is anything that's holding us back from our potential and what we could do, be, and have in our life. So first thing we need to do is identify those internal dialogues. We need to tune into and really pay attention to what we're saying. And I am fortunate in that my daughter is really good at, whenever a limiting belief or a thought like that pops out of my mouth, she reminds me that it's not true, or she'll challenge me on it, which is awesome, because otherwise those things just keep rolling around in our head and we never challenge them. So the first thing to do is to identify that internal dialogue. When am I putting myself down? When am I not being a cheerleader, but being a little devil's advocate in my head and in my conversations in my head? Secondly, we want to reframe those negative thoughts into a positive or a possibility. So let's look at an example of that. Let's say I'm bad at public speaking, which is one that's very important in many situations. All I have to do is say, I am improving my ability to speak in public every day, or a little bit every day, or whenever I get a chance. That little bit of a tweak takes it from being a negative to at least a neutral or a possibility for us to improve. If we're saying I'm bad at it, we've already decided and judged ourselves, and we're not even going to do anything to change that. But if we open up the possibility to change and improvement, that becomes possible for us. Third, we want to adapt positive communication beliefs. We want to adopt those and pick those out and make them our own as quickly and easily as possible. So we want to believe in the power of connection, authenticity, and clarity. We want to believe that those are important in our communication. Fourth, we want to practice and seek feedback. How do you practice? You practice all the different communication skills we're going to talk about this month. Listening skills, body language, mirroring, matching, understanding other people's personality types and communication styles. And you want to role play or seek groups, or seek speaking opportunities, or seek communication groups, or any opportunities to improve your communication in whatever environment you find yourself in. So if you're in organizations where you volunteer, that is a great place to practice some of the skills that we'll be learning this month. And then finally, 5 is always surround yourself with positive communicators. Model people and pay attention to and listen to people that are awesome communicators. Whether we like them or not, we can learn from everybody that we come in contact with in terms of honing and practicing our own skills. And then I would add practice. Well, I guess we just talked about practice, because practice creates improvement. Improvement creates continuous improvement, and continuous improvement creates mastery in anything we want to achieve. And this month, it's communication. That's all I've got today. Any questions, hit me up. I did do a write-up and shared a couple of people's stories, the impact on Jacob of positive thinking and positive thoughts, and the impact on his business and career. And I did Joy for the impact that negative thinking and negative thoughts and negative beliefs had on her life. And luckily, at the end, she turned around, but she struggled a lot because she focused on the negative instead of the positive, focused on the things that were against her instead of the things that were for her, etc. All right, have a great day, and I will, of course, be with you tomorrow.